So this is going to be my first attempt at a video response. Although to be honest, it's not actually my first attempt. It's probably going to be my fourth, because so far Jeb has been killed, Jeb has been trapped in space, and Jeb has just generally been useless. And it's largely because I'm out of practice. But here we are today, the fourth attempt to get the Kerbal space program going, because we're going to find the famous space cows. Oh yes, space cows. So, problems with the Dibble space program, the Chocobo Asylum space program, the incompetence program, which we need to convert into a searing example of rocketry success. Now the first thing is action groups. That's where you map a particular key. Custom 1 is key 1, custom 10 is key 0, or gear is key G to a particular thing. In this case we have key 1 mapped to the Science Junior. You select it and then select what you want the key to do. So we are going to select key 1 as doing the observe the material and key 2 as toggling the door so we can have a look inside. Now then, problem with this rocket in the previous attempts is we don't have enough thrust to get this top stage into orbit before it's done. And the reason we need to do that is because as a quest you have a list of activities to perform the test. Activate the part through the staging sequence when all the test conditions are met. So when all of those are green, you have to have this stage. It will not complete if you do it before or do it manually. You have to do it through the staging, which means the rocket must be designed so the part is done in order. What you must also not do is while you're flying, press the discard key, because that throws away your experiment and you weren't getting the results back. So wait until you've landed to discard them. I like to keep them just to see what I've done. Now, these here are separatrons. They will remove the rocket from the other rocket. So that will clear them away so they don't collide with the central part. That's good. So as you can see, I've got them pointing inwards. In they are. There they are. Whee! To force the rocket away. Now, I need more fuel. The problem is the more fuel you add, the more fuel you need. And the difference between rocket types is solid boosters have more thrust but no thrust control. And they're all on or all off. Once they're started, they cannot be turned off. So they're extremely quick at getting you up, but they're not very good for fine control. I have this to lift me a bit higher. That was good. Now the problem is, this stage does not have enough fuel to complete the burn in orbit. However, if I add more fuel, I'm adding more weight, which means I need more fuel to lift the more weight, which means I need more fuel to lift the more weight. Spot. That may be too heavy. Depends on how much power I can get from that and how much delayed flight from that. It's going to be tricky. I'm going to give it a go then. Winglets to control in atmosphere are no use in space. I think we might risk that. That's just enough. Okay, so we're going to... Oh no, don't do that. We're going to save it. And we're going to launch. Now then. Might be a bit noisy on the flight up. I may not be doing... You'll notice the rocket's now above ground. Although when we went from the VAB, the assembly building, these were below the ground. It will always raise it so you have enough clearance on the bottom motors. Oop, hiccups. Now then, science. We can do a crew report. What do we know? From the launch pad. We can also boot Jeb out, hope he doesn't fall off, and while he's outside the craft, he can do an EVA report. And it's most precarious because he's hanging on for dear life. You keep the data, you get back on board. And you keep doing that over different terrain and he'll bring back more science. Here we have our little science thing. I've got to get that in orbit to complete that one. I need the science. Okay, so on with the SAS. Going to get very noisy now. Throttle to full, ready for the upper stage. Again, these are all on or off, but that one is throttleable and gimbal. It can be controlled movement. 3, 2, we turned east because the planet spins west-east. So that means that the planet is moving under. Our aim is to climb now because we're picking up speed at this point, and that will throw us into orbit. But we also need height. So around 85,000, I'm going to cut the engines. Cut the engines because, as you can see, we're gaining orbital velocity around Kerbal, but we're also gaining height at the same time. 45-degree angle upwards at around 10,000. Dibble design going. So when that gets to 48, I will cut the engines. So 85. So that's what we need to roughly be for our experiments. See, we're gaining quite a bit now. Gaining. Cut the engines. We're going to add a maneuver at this point. We're going to pull this to give us width, which will be our orbit. Our periapsis is there. That's our lowest point, so we want it to be a bit higher. That's a bit too much. There we go. So now the trick is you need to then move the nose onto this dark blue pip, and the dark blue pip is where you need to be pointing to complete the thrust. We have a 41-second burn. I hope that's enough fuel because I need that top part in part. A 41-second burn, which means we do it half on one side of the pip, half on the other, which is 1 minute 11 seconds away. So we're going to start burning at full speed at 20 seconds. And then 20 seconds on the other side of the pip or the node will complete the circularization burn. I'm hoping that's enough. As you can see, we're still in orbit around Kerbal, so only one of the conditions is met. We're not in orbit and we're not at that altitude. We're getting to that altitude because we're rising high to where I've set it. As you can see, I set it here. I did very well holding it, as you can see, perfectly around the equator, so I'm going pure east, and that was simply using the WASD keys to bring the nose over along the compass, so I was pointing 45 degrees east. seconds short. Let's have a look at the radar. We're going to have to use the upper stage because we don't with... Okay, so we have now got... Let's get rid of the... that's our orbit. So we have a Kerbal apoapsis, or a high point, at 23,500. We have a periapsis. So as you can see, we've now met all the conditions. We can do this engine. But the problem is, because we didn't do it via the staging, we now can't complete that quest. We can, however, hopefully do this one. So let's send Mr. Jeb out. Let's get him some science over the water while we're there. There we go. Save the data and climb back on board. So yes, so because those are all green, we could complete it if that was on the next stage. But because the next stage is the parachute, we can't. We can recover scientific data though. Let's have a look. Let's keep that data and let's close those doors. There we go. Now we've got to get that back to keep it. So we're in orbit. The orbital music is not playing because the music is off. And that's the fuel we have to get back. Now to be certain, you want to do it at the lowest point, which is there. So you add a maneuver and then we're going to pull in the target. So we're going to land in the ocean there. Let's make it a bit harder. We're going to pull it in there. Try and aim for that. Oops. Let's go for that. Okay. Now, what the other things do is forward and back, up and down for your orbital inclination, and shift the, I suppose that's the Z-axis, isn't it, really? So let's get rid of that. We add and remove. So, up and down, angle of attack, I guess you could call it, or pitch. So click on there, add a maneuver. I'll aim for that bit of land mass there, shall we? Now then, let's go back to the main thing. You can actually do it from inside the cockpit if you want to be clever. The light blue means we're 180 degrees away from where our nose needs to point. Let's line up over here. We're aiming for the blue node pip there. Ew. Meanwhile, we can have a little image around, and then right mouse click and see what Jeb sees. Ooh, pretty. Right, back outside. So he's over the water, he can't get any science there. Now Jeb accidentally died because I sent him for a little trip outside, and unfortunately, the ship, I couldn't find the crew hatch. The crew hatch is actually on the bottom of this. I was trying to get in the cockpit at the top, and I didn't do well. And eventually, because they weighed too much difference, this fell away quicker than he was catching up, and he just fell to his death. I may, at the end of this, attach the video and show you. Now, we're 33 minutes away. We have a 24-second burn. I'm hoping that's enough fuel to do it. It may not be. So we shall speed up time. If not, Jebediah gets stuck in space a second time. Oh. The apoapsis is the highest point. I'm going to redo the science up there, I think, just to have a look. So we're near the highest point of the orbit. Let's go back out. And let us observe some minerals. Let's reset it. And let us observe some minerals. What do we see? Not high enough for radiation, so it's the same data, unfortunately. Let's close the door. There we go, keep it nice and safe. Now then, Jeb, what do you see outside? He's drifting away. We're above Kerbin's water, so get back on board. Get back on board. Because you can only get one for each environment. And because I've already got water, he just dumps it. So, he's drifting away again. Let's reset it. And go back out again. Hang on, Jeb. Don't you? Oh, he's drifting away. There's the money. Still above Kerbin's water. It's no use. Let's just board until I think we get near the land. There we go. What's that? Mountains. Mountains, that would be good. So we still above Kerbin's water. Oops, I'm pulling off the nose. There we go. Still Kerbin's water. Planet Earth is blue and there's nothing Dibbles can do because she can't get up here. Right. I'm waiting till we're near the shore because that also counts. That bit there counts as an environment you can do a report on. And hopefully those will count as mountains, so I'll get those as well and bring some science back. Kerbin's Highlands, right, keep that data on board. Let's put it back in the ship. And then get back out again. And what do we have now? Kerbin Shores, quick, keep that data. And back in we go again. So that'll do for now, I think. And we don't want to risk the death of Jeb. Let's speed up. Again, 24 seconds, so we burn 12 seconds either side of the node. Hopefully. And if that's not enough, we're in serious trouble. Okay, we're getting ready. Let's give Jeb a nice look at the planet below him. 32 seconds. 12 seconds either side. So yes, so this was not successful because it wasn't staged to fire the engines. The sights might be if I can get it back down again. We have a radial parachute on the top. 12 seconds. Prepare for burn. Do we have enough fuel? We're half of the burn short. But, fortunately, let's get rid of that so you can see we don't want that anymore. It was just enough. The blue line intersects with the planet again, so we're coming down. It's just enough. Where's he going to land? He's going to land on Dozer over there, I think. Now, Jeb's staying in the cockpit. He's not going to be daft because the last time I did this, as I say, he ended up falling to his death because he drifted away from Kerbin at a different rate from his craft and he couldn't catch back up and he went all the way and died falling into the sea. So round and round we go. So now he's out of electricity. Oh, he's got a little back, that's okay. He's got a little bit of monopropellant. He's out of fuel completely though, so he can't control his course coming down any further. But it's enough. It doesn't matter really where he lands. He's just going to get that side back in one piece. Yay! So let's speed up a bit, I think. I'm going to auto-fire the parachute because it will bring me down safely under its own control. I'm not going to try and do a Dibbles and land at a particularly fast speed. Can I have time control for that? I'm going to let the parachute do its work and save the Jeb. So let's speed up a bit. Whee! Down we come. Whoops. Oh, that'll be the parachute, I guess, will it? No, I'm just spinning out of control. Stop it, stop it. No, 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 no. That'll be the effect of the atmosphere on my craft. I shouldn't have done that. Should have just kept my nose straight. Oh well. I'm spinning right to left, so if I pull left. No, wait. Let's go the other way. Almost, almost, almost. No, Jeb, what have you done? There we go. Let's get inside and just watch from Jeb's point of view what it looks like. Zoom out. I forgot to ask Jeb, did you see the space cows in the Bob it away, Jeb. Bob it away. So yes, you can actually, if you're really clever, fly using the controls. Straightening up the nose. Parachute. Need that to come down. Surface speed you were asking about, Bianca, that's approach to surface. Orbital speed, how quickly you're moving around the planet. As you can see, the speed is now constant because the parachute is engaged. I think we're going to survive at 10.2 meters per second. Landing approach is survivable. Might lose a few parts at the back though. And in we go. Let's see. As long as the sign. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Jeb is still alive, but the science exploded. Not good. So, landing on the ground or landing with 2 radial parachutes. You can see I gained quite a bit of... I didn't, I only gained 1 science. Did it survive? Did it survive? No. Because I've done all these sciences before, I don't get them again. Boo. I need to go to the Mon. And jeopardize okay. So, I should have landed on land with landing gear, I think, to protect the science from going wrong window. And that's how you do it, basically. Fully into orbit and then get the parts back down again. But getting into orbit can be done with a very simple craft, even with the basic stuff you have. Right. One of them survived. I got one of them, it looks like. Launch a vessel. I got the science. I did. Yes, I got it back. At least I think I did. Which one was it? I don't know, there's quite a few of them. But I got it. Because only the rocket max is still there. So I can take off the science upper station. That should give me enough fuel because the weight will be down to complete that one. So, to explain, because we fell short, what I would do, and I'm not going to show you the launch because it's already too long a video and I'm not sure it's been very productive, is we're going to load in the Dibble design. I'm going to shift 2 of those boosters as well, actually. Let's reload it because I can never be bothered setting it back up again. I wonder if it would weigh a lot less if I took off and turned it to 2. And because we're not taking the sides, we're just going for the rocket. That may be enough to do it, you know. But that's it. As you can see, yeah, we got 20, so the science made it back. It fell into the water, but they recovered it from the trenches below, no doubt. Yeah, we want to have our flag. Like, give me back my flag. Yay! And that's it for today. That's how you do it, Miss Dibbles. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was useful. Hope it continues to help you improve. I'm rambling because I've just realised, let's save that, something that won't be on this video. Something which you could also do, and I would, is go to the menu, save the game, save it as that. Is you could exit the game, quit the main menu, load the game. Training. Do the training. In particular, construction and flight basics. Yes, train that Dibbles. Train that Dibbles, Kerman. Yes. Aha! I want to see you doing it in your next video. But for me, for now, that's it.